What's up? I hope you're all having a good day or night, depending on where you are or what time you're watching this right now. So, tonight we are doing a part 3 to the Reddit series thing that I kind of started. I originally planned for it to only be 2 parts, but I had so much fun with both of those videos, I wanted to do a part 3, which is what we're doing tonight. So, part 3 of reading Am I the Asshole posts in Reddit. Trigger warning that some of these could be really intense. Like, some of them have involved verbal abuse. Not really any, physical abuse, but it got, borderline physical abusive type of stuff sometimes. So stuff like that, just be warned, could be in some of these stories. I haven't, pre-read any of these. What I do is I kind of just, read the cover title that Reddit posts have, and then based off that, I'll decide if I want to read it or not. So that's what we're doing. And I already found a really crazy one for the first one, which reads, "Am I the asshole for telling my husband that he absolutely ruined the birth of our child?" So, as you can see, intense stuff, to say the least. So, anyway, sit back and listen to these stories with me, and decide if these people are assholes or not. It's more often than not that, or it's more often that they are not the asshole, and that somebody else in the story is. That's what I've come to find out with the majority of these posts, but we'll see. Anyway, let's read this one first. Hi everyone, our daughter is now 8 weeks old, so obviously this whole argument has gone on a very long time. We both have been holding grudges and neither of us think that we are wrong. My husband does not know I am posting this, so I'm going to keep it as anonymous as possible. So when I got pregnant with my daughter, my husband started immediately telling me that I should have a home birth. I really do not know why he was so adamant on it, but he was. At first, I brushed him off and told him I would think about it because I was only 6 weeks pregnant, and the birth seemed so far off. Of course, it came quickly, and my husband would literally speak over me at doctor's appointments when my doctor would ask if I had a birth plan. This caused a few arguments between us in those 39 weeks of pregnancy, but I never really changed my mind. Eventually, my husband's mother sat down and talked to me, and she told me all the reasons why they did not want me to go to a hospital for the birth. I expressed my concerns about, safety of the baby and myself, but just like my husband, she brushed me off. I ended up telling my husband that I would take myself to the hospital when it was time, and that I did not want a home birth. He acted as if he didn't hear me. We met with a doula who was also very pushy. I felt overwhelmed and not supported at all. I was 36 weeks pregnant at that point. So, when I went into labor, I was 39 weeks, and I absolutely begged my husband to take me to the hospital where my doctor is. He wouldn't. He spoke to me, condescendingly, sorry. I don't know why I struggled with that so hard just now. He spoke to me condescendingly and called the doula instead. I was in labor for about 3 days, active labor for around the last 22 hours. I cried the entire time. I just felt something was wrong. I was scared and oftentimes they left me alone. The doula told me that if active pushing and labor reached 24 hours, I had to go into the hospital. I remember thinking that I could not decide which was worse, staying in labor for another 2 hours or having my baby right there. When she was finally out, I don't even remember wanting to hold her. I just remember crying out of relief. Obviously, I am okay now, but I did not have a good experience. On my first appointment after birth with my doctor, She was very shocked I had the baby. She was concerned. I was so upset. I told my husband that he absolutely ruined it for me. I truly never want to go through that again. I hear mothers say that they forget all the pain the second they have their baby, but I didn't. I love my daughter so much, but it was horrible, and it was entirely his fault. So I told him that several times. He rolls his eyes every time and tells me how mothers are strong, and how I am not trying to be strong. I told him that if we ever have another baby, which he wants, that I will never do a home birth ever again. His response is, "We'll see." I cannot possibly be the asshole here, can I? Everyone around me is acting like this is so normal, but it's not, is it? Okay, well, that's the entire story. Obviously, the mother is not the asshole. Let's be clear here. She is not the asshole. The mother-in-law and the husband are assholes. I mean, I understand wanting to do a home birth, especially if, like, you have the experience or the proper skills necessary and you can't afford the hospital. Like, that would make sense. But this, and, like, even also with those circumstances, everybody, especially above all, the mother, needs to be in agreement about it. Obviously, that's not the case here. Yeah. I'd say the husband is clearly the asshole here, and that saying "we'll see" for, like, the second birth, that there's no bigger red flag. Like, you couldn't ask for a bigger red flag with that, right? I would suggest finding somebody to drive you to the hospital. Okay, like, don't, if you're going into labor, I don't know how you could possibly drive yourself to the hospital if you're in labor. I'm sure it's possible, but even if you have, like, the most driving skills, or, like, the best driving skills ever, but you're in labor, that just still seems so incredibly dangerous to me, and unsafe for many reasons. But I would highly recommend finding somebody else apart from your husband or his side of the family to take you to the hospital. Like, I don't know, a neighbor, anyone. But yeah, that's I'd say at-home births are a bit unorthodox, maybe, but they're not unheard of. They're not, like, I'd say they're somewhat normal, but, like, in this circumstance, definitely not normal, Anyway, that's my thoughts on the first story. Let's find a second one. I'm just reading through some of the titles. I'm trying to find, like, a juicy one, Okay. This one's not that long, but the title is insane. Am I the asshole for telling my daughter that her mom cheated on me when my daughter said my new girlfriend looks like an OnlyFans chick? So, let's see what is going on here. Okay. I, a 49 male, got divorced from my wife, Emily, a 49-year-old female, because she cheated on me with multiple men. We have a son and a daughter. Our son, Nick, who's 22, has always been closer to his mom, and our daughter, Skylar, who's 19, has always been closer to me. Not knowing why we got divorced, the kids took their mom's side. I recently started dating Lisa, a 54-year-old woman. She has a fun personality, she's smoking hot, and she dresses very fun. When I introduced Lisa to my kids, Nick took a liking to her, while Skylar looked annoyed. Days later, Skylar said that Lisa looks like an OnlyFans chick. If you knew Skylar, you would be shocked that she would use that as a way to insult another woman. I told her that her mom, Emily, was the one who cheated on me, and that I met Lisa after the divorce. Skylar just said, "Oh," and she got quiet, but the next day, my ex-wife, Emily, confronted me. I reminded her that I never promised to keep her cheating a secret. She said that I implied that it would be a secret based on the fact that I never said whether or not I would tell our kids. Am I the asshole? I mean, yeah, kind of. I'll be honest, kind of. Hey, listen, I respect you for, like, defending your new girlfriend and, like, doing that, but, like, I probably would have gone with a different method than just exposing the mom or like that. Well, the mom is in the wrong, obviously, for cheating in the first place, but when it comes to, like, telling the daughter, especially if the daughter didn't know already, and you picked that moment and that way to tell her, it just, I can't high-five that, I can't get behind that at all. That is a topic that you need to, like, have a, like, professional, respectable sit down with, like, with your kids and inform them that the reason why y'all got divorced was because your wife was unfaithful. Not to just, like, blurt out, like, oh, you think my new girlfriend's an OnlyFans chick? Well, your mom's the one that cheated on me with multiple men, so boom, in your face. Like, I wouldn't recommend that to be the way you, inform your daughter of the real reason y'all got divorced. I understand why you said it, I do not agree with it, So I'd say, yeah, you are kind of an asshole for that. But at the same time, you're not entirely at fault because your wife was unfaithful after all, and you were just defending your new girlfriend. I just don't like that is how you told your daughter about the situation, Unless she already knew about it beforehand. If she had already known that your wife was unfaithful, then it would be a different story. Then I would not be calling you the asshole in this situation. But based on the context here, I don't think she knew at that time. So, yeah. Okay. Let's find another one. Let's see. Okay, I'm trying to find one that's not too long. Oh, okay, this one's, like, kind of long, but it sounds interesting. Am I the asshole for breaking up with my girlfriend because of a caught cheating prank? Dude, people have been doing the caught cheating prank for, like, over a decade now. It is so old. I don't know why people keep doing it. It's not funny anymore. It was never really funny to me, honestly, but it's just so overdone now to where I don't know how even the people that did find it funny can still find it funny, Okay. Anyway, let's read it. I, a 26-year-old male, broke up with my girlfriend, a 25-year-old female of 2 years, because of something that happened recently, and now my friends are saying I massively overreacted. So a few days ago, my girlfriend and a close mutual friend decided to play a prank on me. The prank was that they filmed a furious and immediately confronted them as I thought it was real at first, like an actual betrayal. And then I walked out of the room and started leaving the house. When they followed me screaming it was just a prank, and then they showed me the video they'd been recording. To be honest, I felt completely betrayed, not just by the idea of the prank, but also because of how they had gotten undressed to film it. I know it's meant to be funny to some people, but for me, it felt disrespectful and I was hurt. The whole thing felt like a violation of trust, even though I know they weren't actually cheating. I told her I couldn't be in a relationship with someone who would do something like that, and I ended things right there. She's devastated, and our friends have been telling me I overreacted. They think it was just a harmless prank, and I should have taken it better. But I can't shake the feeling that it crossed a line for me, especially with how intimate and uncomfortable it felt to see them in that situation, even if it wasn't real. Now I'm left wondering if I made the right decision. I'm starting to doubt myself because everyone else seems to think I blew it out of proportion. Okay. Well, okay, I don't think he's the asshole. At all. Some people might think he overreacted, and honestly, I mean, maybe there's room enough to say that, but I'm trying to figure out how to word this properly. It is his decision, okay? It just comes down to like standards and like what you believe in and like what you view loyalty as and all that. Like, personally, let's just say hypothetically, I was in that situation and that prank was done to me. I would also be furious and, storm out of the house, all that, 100%. I probably wouldn't, no, I know I wouldn't end things. I would need to think about what just happened and process it and, like, maybe eventually laugh with them or just stay with my opinion that this was messed up. Probably, I wouldn't break up with her on the spot, though. I would have to like, process things. But that's just me. It would be different for everybody. I'm sure other people would break up on the spot. It's just like, it comes down to just what you want from a relationship, but also, actually, I forgot about this fact, or this part for a second. The image he saw instantly of her, like, straddling his friend like that when they were in their underwear, prank or not, that is like some traumatizing, like, truly heartbreaking stuff right there. So I don't blame him for what he did, okay? It just, what I also want to say is, like, don't let your friends tell you you're overreacting when it's just you standing your ground and, like, standing for what you believe in and, like, how a relationship should be, Like, when it comes to stuff like that, it's not up to them, it's up to you and how you want to take things, if that makes sense. Am I making sense here? I feel like I'm yapping a bit too much for this one, but I don't think he's the asshole. And what he did was entirely his choice, and his girlfriend and his friend made their choices, and they have to live with the consequences, right? Let's do. Let's do. How about. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to find a good one here. um. Okay, this one. This one is long, but let's do it. Okay, am I the asshole for kicking my parent out and saying this is why I was so fucked up as a kid? Alright. Let's see. I had my parents over for dinner this weekend, and they're in their 60s, and after my daughter, who's 10, asked if she could play us a song she had been practicing on her keyboard. It wasn't perfect. A few missed notes, a couple pauses, but she did really well. She looked up at the end, a massive smile, and I started clapping, and my parents started fucking laughing. Not just a little chuckle, a massive fucking belly laugh. Both of them. My mom asked if it was her first time playing it, and my dad said it had to have been. A dog could have played that better. Wow. Oof. Wow, okay. It was like my daughter was shrieking on the spot, and she looked down and said, "No, I've had 2 lessons, but doing it with 2 hands is hard." And they just laughed even harder. I just stood up, took their cups, and said, "Leave." Now. And said, "Leave now." My mom tried to say about how they hadn't finished their drinks. They wanted to hear another song, etc. And I said, "Get your stuff and get the fuck out of my house right now." My dad started doing this huffing thing he does when someone dares to speak up to him, and my mom said that there was no need to be like this, that I can't protect her from her all the time, and she's preparing my daughter for the real world. I said, "It's not teaching the real world, they're just nasty little bullies picking on children, and shit like this is why I was so fucked up as a kid. Now leave." They got their stuff and left. I sat with my daughter and explained how proud of her I was and how well she was doing. To ignore them, they were just being cruel because they don't know any other way to be, and asked if she could please play it again, which she did. On the Sunday I messaged and said that until they can behave like decent human beings, that we are taking a break away from them. My dad replied that it was my choice, but he didn't realize he raised me to be so precious. Now my lovely brown-nosing golden child of a sister is getting involved. She phoned me today with my parents' version of events, telling me that I was a nasty piece of work. It should never speak to my parents that way. That I'm wrapping my child in cotton wool and blah blah blah. I just told her to go F herself and hung up. I'm not asking if I'm in the wrong for standing up for my daughter. I'll always do that. But I did go pretty 0 to 100. And I kicked them out straight away. I swore at them in front of my daughter. I did raise my voice at the end when I said leave. I was and still am very angry. I don't think I'd even accept an apology from them at this point. This behavior isn't new. It's decades old, but this is the first time it affected my daughter. Did I go too far? React too much? Should I have tried to be calmer? Talk it out? I don't know. Am I the asshole? Oh wow, and there's an edit, that goes on. He said, "Lots of people think I'm a mom, LOL. Nope, I'm a single dad." Okay, so the poster is actually a single dad. I personally thought it was a mom. I thought it was the mom as well. It's a single dad. And he says, "Thank you for all your comments. Definitely calming the anger I felt and making me feel less shit for the way I reacted. So that's good." Okay. Anyway, absolutely not. You're in no way the asshole here. I hate the parents so much. Oh my gosh, I want to slap them myself. No, the parents are major, huge, 100% assholes in this situation. To do that to your granddaughter is just diabolical. Usually, with how these situations are, if the parents are cruel and kind of really strict with you as a kid, typically they usually do a complete 180, and they, with your child, with their grandchild, they just baby them and wrap them up in cotton, as they said, and all that, which wasn't the case here, obviously. Yeah, no, good on you for standing up for your kid. That was awesome. I even think you were right for everything you did. I mean, swearing in front of your daughter and yelling at them in front of your daughter, I guess could be questionable, but not to me. I loved it. If anything, I feel like it might have helped and cheered up your daughter a little bit for her seeing her dad take such initiative to stand up for her to your own parents, you know. But yeah, no, not the asshole. The parents have got to change their ways if there's any hope for them having a relationship with their granddaughter or continuing to have a relationship with their son. So yeah, that's what I think about it. Yeah, okay. Let's do one more. Here's what we'll do for this one. We're just gonna scroll and not even look. Just gonna scroll and stop on a random one, okay? I'll stop right here. Nope, that's an ad. Right here. Am I the asshole for stopping my boyfriend's proposal at our best friend's wedding? Alright, let's see. I'm gonna make a pre-guess here and say that you're not the asshole because you wanted your friend to have their special day, because proposing at a wedding is just icky. It's not right, you know. I don't know why that became a thing to do that. It's just that's gross, you know. You don't try and become the center of attention on someone else's during someone else's wedding, which is supposed to be one of the biggest days of their life, and you're trying to make it about you now. No, that I don't know why that ever became a thing. That's just weird, not right. Anyway, okay, let's read. I, a 26-year-old female, and my boyfriend, a 25-year-old male, attended a mutual friend's wedding. They are very close friends to us and brought my boyfriend and I together. My boyfriend and I are coming up on our 3-year anniversary, and things were getting pretty serious. Enough so that I very much wanted to marry him. He's sweet, chatty, typically considerate and empathetic. He's the person who I thought was the first to show me what a truly healthy and compassionate relationship was like. He's very serious about us too. We've had long talks about marriage, and it seemed we were in agreement with no formal declaration. We had even gotten as far as looking at rings. So the chances of a proposal was more of a when, not if. A few weeks before the wedding, us and the engaged couple were at the time were hanging out. The topic of weddings was very prevalent, and my boyfriend had cracked a joke about proposing at our friend's wedding. The to-be groom joked back and said that'd be funny as hell. This was followed by me and the to-be bride both shutting it down, trying to be serious, but also not thinking he was serious. He was. During the reception, everyone had made their speeches and people were getting their food, while our was waiting, my boyfriend went up to the DJ and after they played my boyfriend and I's favorite song to scream singing in the car together, which is Story of My Life by One Direction. I look at him, smiling, and he's looking around. All of a sudden, he grabs a fork, stands up, and begins clanging on a glass. Immediately, the whole dining room looks over. I stand up and whisper the words, "Not right now." His face drops, and he yells a mix of, "I'm sorry, I was joking." After he sat back down, I verbatim said, "Let them have their moment. Let's make this our own." He wouldn't even look at me. When it was time to get our food, he immediately goes toward the exit. I follow and try to catch up to him, but couldn't find him. I text him twice and call him a couple times, but got no answer, so I went back to the reception. After not hearing from him for about an hour and a half or so, he returns, sit downs, and doesn't even look at me. The rest of the night was terrible. He looked like his dog just died, and I was trying to make the best out of the night, but felt like I was just in his shadow. I was prepping for a breakdown or maybe a fight in the car, but the only thing he said was, "I don't want to talk about it right now," and the drive was just quiet and awkward. He sent me a long text about how hard it was to get the ring, how he felt rejected by his closest person, and that I embarrassed him. I tried to explain that it's not that I didn't want to marry him. It was our best friend's wedding, and they deserve their moment. That we should create our own and not piggyback off theirs. He got offended and said that if I wanted to marry him, I wouldn't have stopped his proposal in front of everybody. This situation perplexes me. I've never seen the appeal of proposing at someone else's wedding and tried to handle this situation in a way that I felt was calm and chill. But he's very adamant that I ruined the proposal, made him look like an asshole, and thus I'm the asshole. Am I missing something? Should I admit I was wrong and have just let him propose, and just let his proposal go at our friend's wedding? Okay. Once again, no, you're not the asshole. The boyfriend is very much an asshole. Actually, the boyfriend is more of just like a man-child. Like, so you didn't get your way, so you just left. You just disappeared. I'm sure to just like go kick some sand, kick some rocks, and be like, come back down and just pout for the rest of the night. Like, nah, your boyfriend acts like he's in, like, I don't know, 6th grade, and the girl he asked to dance with him just rejected him to go dance with somebody else, and that kid goes to sit down in the corner of the gym and just pouts for the rest of the night. That is, in a sense, what your boyfriend did. And he is, what was it? And he's 25 years old. Yeah. No, he's the asshole here. Like, I get it. He's in love. He loves you, and he wanted that to be y'all's moment, which I can understand. But like you said, and how I said before I read that story, proposing at someone else's wedding is just weird, and I never got it, and she never got it either. And I feel like that's how most people think of it. Like, I just don't get why some people think it's okay to do that, to take away from somebody else's moment and special day, you know. But, yeah, no, she's not the asshole here. If y'all do end up getting engaged, just, I would try to work on that, you know, like, if he throws any more fits like that, like a man-child, be prepared for that to be, you know, what he does many, many, many times, because people like that don't change very easily, if at all. So, yeah, anyway, that was the last story. Let me know y'all's thoughts on any of those stories, if you agree with me, if you disagree, if you want to add something, whatever. I definitely want to eventually. So don't have to ask for it. I'ma do it.